Yo, it's good YouTube. It's your boy Bruce and I'm back again with another video. I think you can see with the thumbnail in the title what I'm actually doing today, or what we actually doing today. So if you're new to the channel, please click that subscribe button. Click it. Click, right? The notification bell. Click it. Don't forget to click that like button. Click. Yeah. Anyway, since that's out of the way, I'm actually doing a story time today. I'll be actually sharing my so-called first heartbreak, right? So this actually happened in high school. This was not from my first relationship. Let's get that out of the way. This happened in my matric. I think I call it my first heartbreak because it's from all my relationship. This was the actually painful one. This is the one where I felt like, shit, I'm going through a heartbreak. Nigga, heartbroken, right? So anyway, without any further ado, let's get into the video.
Fresh Prince, off motorway. Fresh Prince, off motorway. Hey.
So yeah, this is how actually I'm gonna start this, right? This happens in matric. I was dating this other beautiful Han, right, in matric. So, but how we met at a matric camp. So I was in Northern Cape, in Kuruman. For those who didn't know, I went to school in Rangeville World School, Rangeville High School. It's in Kuruman in the Northern Cape. So I was there matric there, and then we had our first camp at Kalahari High School, right? So we met with all these different schools from around Kuruman, and then yeah, we met there, and then I think it was on the third day. On the third day when we were there, my friend Rita, right? My friend Rita actually came to me. It's like, oh friend, I have something for you. I'm like, okay, because I know that like she in high school, she was one person that if I had gossiped about you in high school, it would have been with her, right? So it's like maybe it's one of those stories, right? So yeah, she pulled up. We took a walk. Actually, we took a walk, and then she tells me, "Friend, I have something for you. There's this girl. She's beautiful. Like this is from the start. She was filling me with these ideas. She's beautiful. She's clever. She's this. She's that, and she has a crush on you." She's like, "Okay, she has a crush on me. That was not a big deal for me, like because I know from the start that, oh fuck, man has beautiful hands. Anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, I know from the start that if you have a crush on someone, that doesn't necessarily mean that you must date them, right? Other people actually belong in that crush category. So for me, it was probably one of those that, okay, she has a crush on me. It's not a big deal. Life continues. And then it's like, yo, she speaks about you almost every time when you're about to go to sleep. When you're together, she's always telling us about you, how cute you are, wada, yada, chit, chat, ching, ching, yang, you know, all those, like.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So then, I'm like, friend, you gotta give her a chance. She loves you. I'm like, okay, that's too soon. And then, okay, I was like, cool, I'll give her an ear. I'll talk to her. We talk. She turned to be this amazing person, a beautiful soul, amazing personality, right? So we start kicking. We are like the power couple of the camp, actually. we are like the power couple of the camp and it happened that most hands from that camp, actually, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but like most hands from that camp actually hit me up after, and they're like, yo, it's said how we'll never know if we'd make a beautiful relationship or we'd be like a power couple because you didn't give us attention. You're only giving Q an attention, right? Q, that's the name for the video. Q. I was giving Q attention. Then the relationship was nice. Funny enough, we didn't stay in the same hood. She stayed somewhere else. She stayed in Bahlaros. I don't know if I can expose the place, but yeah, she stayed in Bahlaros, and I was attending a star school in Bahlaros. Bahlaros. So I was attending star school in Bahlaros, and then almost every day after star school, I'd link up with her, go to her crib. So the relationship was so tight to the extent that me and her, we actually found out that our parents were actually friends when they were still in school. It's like, oh, that's dope. So like our parents know each other like that. It's like, okay, I even have a picture with her mom and her, I used to come there, I used to play PlayStation with her, I once played PlayStation with her brother, it's like a dope relationship. So now let's get that out of the way. The part where I feel like this was the painful heartbreak for me is there's this other hand. Okay, this is where it started, but I feel like this is where I started to mess things up. I admit I messed up, right? But not the relationship, not the end, not to the end. You thought this was the end of the video? This is the middle. I stayed in this other hand who stays in my house. I was not dating her actually, because we met, right? And I know Q has like a banging body. She's like nyash, bro. Like it's like, I don't know, like in high school I used to love like nyash, like proper nyash, like proper bunda, right? Like bunda. So so like then there's this other hand. This hand we meet in town, right? Because we used to chill with the niggas with the text, right? And I was like, nyash, right? Like gents know when like you see that one person and you're like, damn, she's fine as hell, right? And then I went to speak to her, right? And then she was feeling the boy, obviously. Come on. So she was feeling the boy. We talked and we ended up like killing at the low. So it's like, yo, I told her about my hands. Like, yo, me, I have a hand, right? Because I'm like that though. If I have a hand, I laugh out loud, right? So I was like, yo, me, I have a hand because I'm gonna post my hand. I feel like if I'm in a relationship and you decide to do something sneaky with me, because back then I actually had time to do that, but when I have like time for sneaky things and all that, I'll tell you from the start, yo, like I have a hand, because me, I'm a poster. I'm that type to laugh out loud, right? So then what happened was, me and the son started killing, right? And then I don't know, she started talking about me, like, yo, me and this guy, and it's like, what? Like, rule number one of being a side chick, discreet. This fucking discreet. If you're a side chick out there, no. Rule number one, discreet. You don't share about me with your friends. You don't talk about me in conversations. You don't do none of that. You are a side. You are a side for a reason. Or for a season. No, right? So she happened to like share, right? She happened to share all these things. And then she found out. As soon as Q found out, but then I was like done with that one. I cut her out because of that, because I found out that she was speaking about me a lot. So I cut her out, and then I think that's where I actually started realizing that, yo, I actually kind of like love Q, right? Because like the relationship was getting serious, right? I was getting way too attached to Q, starting to buy each other gifts. She was actually the first hand to actually buy me a gift. Yeah, that's why this was fucking painful, because like the relationship was good. She bought me a gift, I bought her gifts. Funny enough, the day she bought me a gift, I bought her a gift on that same day, because we were linking up, and then I came with the gift and she had a gift, and then it's like an exchange of gifts. That's cute, right? So I feel like one of our love languages is like gifts, right? Giving, because she's a humble human being, right? So it happened that happened, and then comes to the sad side of the story. I'm not gonna get emotional. I'm not an emotional person. Stop the cap. Yeah. So what happened was, then there was this other hand. By this time, the relationship, too deep into the relationship. There's this hand. Let me take a sip. It's getting cold. So there's this hand who now stays in Magasi. Funny enough, she went to Kalahari. This hand, I actually had a crush on her, right? Truth be told, I had a crush on her, but I never dated her because while I had a crush on her, I found out that one of my nigga, right? My nigga, one of my nigga from Brentwood High School, right? I found out that this nigga had a thing with this girl, right? So I have this thing that if you smash my niggas or like you fuck around with my niggas, I don't look at you the same way. Like I feel like for me it's real cold. Even if we were talking before you smash my nigga, after you smash my nigga, I don't rule off the thinking part of me actually smashing, but I actually rule out the initiating part, right? Where I initiate or I go like smash. So it happens that they had their thing, and then I was like, okay, I'm done with this one. We meet, she invited us to her birthday. It was a birthday week, right? This one. From Kalahari. The K chick. Yeah. The K chick, that's her name for the video. The K chick fucking gets too excited because she was also feeling the boy. I don't know. I think I'm that guy. You know, I think I'm really that guy, you know. Like I might not like have connecting beards and all that, you know, but I'm the guy, right? So yeah, what happened was she got too excited. We took a lot of beautiful pictures, right? And then she then posted on Facebook. She's like K chick, that's her name, for the sake of the video. So my other name, those who don't know, Rebaone, right? Rebaone. So I'm Rebaone Bruce Lobon. So she took Reba from Rebaone. She's like Reba K chick. I'm making an example, right? That's not what she did, but she did like because back then the name combination thing was like banging. So she did like Reba K chick. That a fucking name combination. That time I'm not even interested in her now. At this point, I'm not talking to her. We have never actually got to talk. I had the idea, but when I found out that she's smashing my nigga, I was like, out of the way. It happens that we didn't get to see this. I didn't even see. Yeah, funny enough, I didn't even get to see the post. Didn't get to see the post on Facebook. That the whole name combination with our picture there. Banging toxic issue. Anyway, then one of Q's friends finds out, right? Or sees this on Facebook, mentions Q, mentions all the friends. They come, they all comment there. It's like, isn't this your boyfriend? I know how humiliating that was to her, right? I'm gonna take full responsibility for that. I actually did apologize, right? Because I was sorry. I was sorry that she got caught up in this situation, right? And because I loved her and all that, I felt like if there was a way that I could actually reverse it, I would have reversed it. But it was already there. That's one thing about life. You only get to do this thing once. So with all the imperfections and all that, let me not bore you with the details. So anyway, then it happens that they all come in there, right? Then you think this is where we're breaking up? This is not where we're breaking up. So we fight, then we fix things, right? Then we're cool with it. But one thing about Hans is that I've noticed that something like this will happen. You'll forgive me, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have held from it or you are over it, right? Because a lot of Hans tend to like bottle things, and this thing is weird for us as gens, right? As gens, we often want someone who will communicate, who will like share their part, all that. So I'm like, I thought she was over it. That's what I thought. And then it happened that one day she went to visit her friends. We were cool in the morning, usual day. Good morning, babe. We talk, we do all these things. She tells me she's going to chill with her friends, right? Okay, cool. Turns out that I was part of the conversations for that day, right? I'm joking. It turns out that I was part of the conversations that day, and then when she came back from the friends, she was furious as fuck. Yo, you take me for the puss, you take me for granted, you cheated me, now everything's supposed to be what that. And then funny enough, she tells me that all of this was because of her friends. So it was a conversation that she had with her friends, and there was this other friend of ours, this is G, right? G for the sake of the video. G, what she did was, I hated G. Truth be told, after the relationship, I hated G. And we've never spoke after that. Like, I hated G, like from the top of my head to the bottom of my, to my toe, top to toe, right? I hated G. Now I've actually over that. So like, but I hated G because I loved Q, right? So G actually was the one who was in the forefront of the conversation, because Q was an honest person. She unwrapped what they were talking about. I'm not gonna get to the detail of it, because they were there talking as friends and all that. So she protected me. I feel like she loved me, right? Because when we then broke up, we didn't like break up like that. So that's how she did me. Yo, she hit me with that, let's take a break. My nigga, they hit you with that. They hit you with that, bro. It's shy. They hit you with, let's take a break. It's shy. So we were approaching our finals, right? And then we have this conversation. We then have an argument. I'm one person that hates arguing. Like all of my exes, right, know that I hate arguing. I don't want to argue. Arguing is something that's not in me. I'm not gonna force it. I'm not gonna try and be this person who's arguing. I like peace, right? I like peace. So if we are going to have an argument in a relationship, just know that from the beginning you've won the argument. I'm gonna let it end quickly as it is, but I want you to voice what hurt you, why we here and all that. What's your perspective for things? I listen to that. I listen. But I feel like I'm only starting to be this person now, because in the beginning I used to be this defensive person. Once we argue, defense mode, attack back, right? So we argue, right? So yeah, it happens that she's like, yo, let's take a break. So it's like, okay, this break till when? Hey, baby girl hits me with that, till our last paper. Yo, at this point I still have hope that, you know what, there is life in this relationship. We go write our finals. I remember our last paper was language. It's English. No, it wasn't Afrikaans, it was English. I remember I wrote English. My last paper was English, right? Paper 3, if I'm not mistaken. English paper 3, we wrote that thing. I was supposed to go to town. I know that she is going to town with her friends. Supposed to go to town. That day, we don't link up in town. I don't get to see her. Then I call her when I get home. Like, hey, what's happening? Like, today is the day. Are we supposed to start kicking it again? You know, I'm that guy, you know, I pull up and like, yo, let's. At this time, I'm no longer drinking tea. This is, should I call it iced tea? Without ice in it? Yeah. So anyway, we have a conversation about this. We speak. Okay. She's like, no, we're not getting back together. We're not ending the break. There's an official breakup. It's over, dude. Oh, it hit me. You know, what hit me was, I had hope, right? And out of all my past relationship, if I dated you before my chick, right, I loved you, but I never got to give and receive love the way I did with Q. It's like we're on another level. Q was a giver. I'm a giver. If we were to then jump into the soulmate chats, Q would have been my soulmate because like she matched my energy. Cool. Yeah, I tried to bull. I feel like deep down, like I'm gonna tell you, deep down I was hurt. I was fucking hurt by this whole thing. And then it got to a point where I was like, okay, cool. But you know, as gents, we always act tough. And then we go and listen to Fora there. I remember everybody's cool. I love this nigga. I go listen to Fora there. Shit, I'm actually cute. I don't know why I'm single and I'm this cute. I don't understand how I'm single and I'm this cute. But that's another chat because I should actually do explaining why I'm single right now. But I'll do another story time. If you wanna hear it, comment down below, right? So it happened that but this video is long. Yo. Okay, yeah, to keep it short, right, to not make this video any longer than it is, it then got to a point where I was like, yo, you know what, okay, cool, we're breaking up. But that's why I noticed that I was actually hurt. I actually loved her, like, I loved her, right? Psych! But like, I actually loved her, right? So, and then it got to a point where like I had to actually accept that it's over. But I had one of the reason why I said this was the most painful heartbreak. It's because I had one of the most longest longest recovery period ever, right? I took long to get into a relationship, to finally move on, because 6 months down the line I was still hurt. 6 months down the line, that's why I hated Chi so much. I hated Chi, but I didn't got to actually say, let me not hate Chi, because I had a part to play, right? Even though it was something that was up. That's the thing. What actually hurt me the most was, if I had cheated, or if I had then smashed the hand, I was gonna accept it and say, I hurt her, right? I was gonna accept, move on, that's okay. But then at this point, I did not cheat. We were not like vibing, doing me, because Miguel was like, Miguel, smashing my friend, I'm out. I'm not gonna entertain you, right? I'm out there, I have a hand. And she knew that I have a hand. Funny enough, she knew that I have a hand, but she continued with it. But anyway, what happened was, like, I didn't do it. Being accused of something that you didn't do, and the person who's accusing you is so sure that you really did it. I think that was the most painful part, right? So because she was so convinced that I had cheated, right? So then, okay, so 6 months down the line, boy is still mourning the relationship, still crying, dog, like when you, this was the most painful relationship ever, breakup ever. It was painfully in a way that I couldn't even imagine it. Like my brother, it was painfully that, I had then given up to an extent, until a year later, then I met my recent ex, which I dated there for a long time as well. So it was painfully, pain e botlhoko jo gape wa itse pain e le gore like pain e le gore ba ga accuse of something that you didn't do, pain ya gore ba be convinced ya gore o cheatile o sa cheata. That pain is very so yeah, that was it. It happened like that. Took time to actually move on. 6 months on the line, I still had hope. I still had hope that, you know what, maybe if I had Miguel back on, you would, like, I feel like I have this problem, right, that every time I'm in like a relationship that I commit too much into it, when it's over, I don't know how to get into a relationship instantly, because I refrain from looking for my ex in my next. So I usually take a period where I just mourn the relationship. It might be a year. This one is actually more than a year. If I come to, no, it was not a year, but it was close to a year. Right, where I mourned. It was actually a year, because my recent partner, when we met, it was in December. Yes, it was in December. So it was actually a year. Not to say that during that year I was not like, meeting 1, 2, 3, 4, but I was unable to actually get into a relationship because of I was like, the wound was too deep, so I wanted it to like neba falega kangani kaf for me to jump into the next one, right? So it's like, that happened, And this is a very painful. But me speaking about this, it's like that's why I'm like realizing that fuck, this actually hurt me. But anyway, yeah, it was it in that. So I'm gonna end this video. I'm not gonna make it any longer. I hope you enjoyed the story time. That was actually my first painful heartbreak. Like, I felt that shit. I like you know, pain. Like, I felt that shit. So relationship by consent, and now we actually we're not friends per se, but like, are we? No, I don't want to claim as my friend, but we actually do communicate from now and then. We do communicate from now and then. She's a nice person. I like to believe I'm also a nice person. So from now and then we actually find ourselves in a conversation, find ourselves in a conversation, whether to and actually we I feel like we have moved on from it fully, and at this point, no, other people might be like, yo, maybe you still love her. No, at this point I've moved on. I don't think me and her will actually I don't think me and her will actually never. Baby girl, if you're watching this, I'm saying it. And if you think you want us to get back together and be in a relationship again, just know that I personally wouldn't agree. I've actually surpassed that phase. I feel like we had our time. We had a beautiful relationship and all that. I feel like if we were to actually try a second attempt, we will jinx it. Even though I feel like now we have matured, we are older. She's doing her thing, I'm doing my thing. But nah, I feel like I feel like it won't like work out. I feel like we will actually make a beautiful relationship. It will be an awesome relationship, but where I'm at in life, I feel like that phase had its lifespan. It has come to an end. We have buried it. We have put a tombstone on top of it, and I'm not God, no Jesus, so I ain't finna resurrect anything. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, to the relationship, we done. Either way, so if you like the story time, like the video. If you got to this point and you're still not subscribed, click that subscribe button. Click the notification bell to be notified next time I drop. And also, comment down below if you want another story time, right? If you want another story time, hectic one, maybe, comment down below, right? Tell me if you like it, if you don't like the content. I'm open to criticism. Let's grow the family. I'm glad that you got to this part of the video. Without any further ado, let's bounce.